What's up, Guardians? Profane here. Thanks for checking out the video. With a recent increase to the base damage of pulse rifles, we've seen weapons like the Red Death, the Graviton Lance, and the BXR Battler become some of the best PvE options here in the final shape. But I want to talk about a pulse rifle that can be just as powerful of an option. Surprisingly though, it's been a weapon that many of you have been grossly overlooking. The Oversoul Edict is a 540 RPM auto rifle. It's arc, it's rapid fire, and it can be obtained through the Crota's End raid, which is a free access activity for all players. And just like all the other weapons from that raid, the Oversoul Edict is craftable, giving you the option of enhanced perks. It comes as a shock to me that so few players use this pulse rifle, because after the recent changes brought on with the final shape, this pulse rifle has performed better than ever. So much so that it started to remind me of the grasp of Malik from Destiny 1. At the time of this video, just over 29% of the community has this weapon, but less than 0.02% of the PvE community is actually using it. The Oversoul Edict ranks in as the 392nd most popular PvE weapon, which is absolutely appalling when compared to the Graviton Lance's ranking of number 3, getting used by just over 3% of the overall PvE community. Or the Red Death, which ranks in at number 17, being used by just over 1% of the PvE community. I'm not suggesting that the Oversoul Edict is better than the Graviton Lance or the Red Death. Rarely would you find a legendary weapon to have more power and versatility than an exotic, especially when the Graviton Lance is one of those exotics. But that in itself can be a huge benefit, opening you up to be able to use a special or heavy exotic weapon as opposed to a primary. The Oversoul Edict has impressive base stats. It has great stability, which minimizes its recoil. It's really snappy and very responsive. Not quite as fast on the trigger as the BXR, but it's not far off. It has remarkable aim assist, and I love the sight options. For a rapid fire pulse rifle, it has decent range, but through our choice of magazine and barrel options, we can give that a significant increase without losing any of the stability. Personally, I love and recommend the combination of arrowhead break with ricochet rounds. Like all the other Crota End weapons, this comes with the Cursed Thrall origin trait. After defeating an opponent with a melee attack, you'll create Cursed Thrall explosions whenever defeating an enemy with this weapon. Each explosion will deal over 100 points of base damage to any enemy within 4 meters, which can become an extremely effective form of crowd control. Oversoul Edict offers a number of impressive combinations between its 3rd and 4th columns. Keep Away or Perpetual Motion, along with Headseeker, would be very strong in the Crucible. Demolitionist is a great utility perk that would pair up nicely with a damage perk like Adrenaline Junkie. But the best combination that this weapon offers, the one god roll that truly sets this legendary weapon apart from others, is Eddy Current or Eddy Current and Volt Shot. Eddy Current, which is what I'm just going to call it because it reminds me of Ed, Edd and Eddy, well, that trait got some much needed TLC when Final Shape launched, and it's become a much more reliable 3rd column trait to use now. When you're amplified, or after sprinting, you'll have increased handling and faster reload speed, with each stat getting a bonus of 20 points. The animation time that it takes to aim down sights and to reload will both be significantly faster. When you are amplified, you'll receive an even greater increase to the reload speed, getting an extra 60 points. What's most incredible about this perk is that it stacks alongside the natural benefits that you'll receive when amplified. When you're amplified, you'll have a 50-point increase to your overall mobility, a 33% increase in slide distance, plus a 40% increase to this weapon's handling, making both the aim down sights and reload speed of this weapon to be just as fast, if not faster, than that of the BXR Battler. With this weapon's already impressive base stats, Eddy Current and Amplified is going to turn this into a lightning rod of destruction with pinpoint accuracy. This does greatly influence its wielder into using an arc or prismatic build, so that way you can consistently provide ionic traces and create Amplified. But remember that Eddy Current is not reliant on Amplified. It can also be triggered just by sprinting. The inclusion of Volt Shot in the 4th column is just as impactful as Eddy Current, if not more so. The synergy between these two perks is beautiful because after defeating an enemy and reloading your weapon, your next couple of shots will trigger Jolt, stunning overload champions and sending surging waves of arc energy through all the other nearby enemies. enemies will remain jolted for 7 seconds, but with the Adept option, we'll get it for a second longer. And with these two perks combined, we'll be able to continuously keep Volt Shot active at a much faster rate. Volt Shot pairs especially well with the Cursed Thrall explosions, because when we have that trait active and trigger Volt Shot, the enemies who die from that Volt Shot will trigger those Cursed Thrall explosions, turning this into a really unique version of Chain Reaction, but much more effective, which makes this a perfect weapon to pair up with any build that heavily focuses around melee use. With the use of the new seasonal artifact, we have the addition of the Elemental Siphon mod, and that's going to give us the ability to create even more Ionic Traces, helping us maintain that amplified bonus, so that we can keep Eddy Current active. What's even better about this combination is that Volt Shot will continue to stun Overload champions, even when using the Anti-Barrier Champion mod. So through the use of this one primary weapon, you can easily subdue 2 different champion types, and still have your exotic slot to use as a special or heavy weapon. And that's what brings me back to feeling so shocked that this weapon ranks so low on the most popular currently used PvE weapons. Its performance alone is deserving of much better than that, and when you factor in its ability to handle 2 different champions, it becomes an even more versatile weapon. So if you haven't gotten this god roll of the Oversoul Edict, or you're just not using it, then stop being a dummy and go get it, because you're going to thank me later. And with that said, I wish you all the best of luck in your journey towards mastering those perfect builds and perfect loadouts. If you need any help getting a build put together, then be sure to check out the Mobalytics link that's down in the description, where you'll find several new builds that are perfect for in-game PvE content. I'd love to hear your thoughts about the Oversoul Edict, the current state of Pulse Rifles, and the current state of Destiny, so let me know your thoughts down in the comments below. Thank you as always for checking out the video. If you enjoyed and found it helpful, then be sure to hit that like button below, along with the subscribe button if you're new. Both are greatly appreciated, and both really do help support the channel. If you're a new Light Guardian just starting your journey, or a battle-hardened veteran just looking for a new home, then be sure to check out the Discord link that's also down in the description, and join one of the greatest communities in all of Destiny. And until next time, Guardians, this has been Profane, wishing you all some happy hunting.